I am male, white, straight, middle-aged, middle class, and English. I've only discovered in the last few years that I'm cis. Not because I wasn't cis before, but because I didn't know the concept even existed. I was privately educated. I live in a democracy. Not a very healthy one, but a democracy all the same. Going about my business day to day, I don't feel privileged. I don't wander around telling everyone about my experience of whiteness, because I'm usually not having any experience of whiteness. It's very much the same as my received pronunciation accent. I don't think I have an accent. All these people around me have an accent and a dialect. I just speak properly. I don't think of myself as having an accent because mine is the standard accent against which everyone else will be judged by people who have got the standard accent. I don't think of myself as having a colour because my colour is the standard colour. Your colour will only be mentioned if it differs from mine. My gender identity is really only relevant to me when I need the loo or I'm buying clothes or getting a haircut. My sex and my gender identity are the same, so I don't even distinguish between the two, unless something out of the ordinary forces me to stop and think. I notice my sexuality when I see an attractive woman or I'm private browsing. It doesn't come into how good I am at my job, or cause other people to belittle my experience or beat me up. Because straight is ordinary. It's the standard. I'm neither obsessively proud of my working class credentials or superior to you because of my breeding. I'm somewhere in the middle. Somewhere near the top of the middle, but not so much that I notice it on a daily basis. I'm English. My parents are English, and even though one of them was born in South Africa, they're still very English indeed. Not foreign, not different, they're just standard English people. My nationality is not something that requires me to put my flag on a car aerial or in my window or on a bumper sticker. My English is just the standard. So much so that I often don't really distinguish between English and British. My Welsh friends do, passionately, but that's because Welsh isn't the standard, and neither is Scottish or Cornish or Northern Irish. I am privileged to be standard, so I am largely unaware of what it is I am. And when I say standard, I'm not saying that I am right and you are wrong. I don't believe that. Though of course there are people who do. It's not wrong to be female or gay or black. But if you are, there will be times when you are forced to notice that you are, because other people have judged you against the standard and valued you differently as a result. If you look me in the eyes and ask me if I agree with those people, I will tell you vehemently that I do not. But if you ask me to say that I'm aware of your experience, the 100 ways you're reminded of your deviation against the standard every single day, I will have to look you right back and say I'm not. I can't be. At no point in my existence have I ever been that guy who was feared because of his colour, or demeaned because of her gender, or beaten up for their sexuality, or frightened of the police because of their race. I have led a privileged experience from the moment of my birth to right now, and it will continue to be one until society picks a new standard and moves on. But current events compel me to change my behaviour. In the US, the forces of the state are being used against the people. An unhealthy, over-militarised, desensitised culture of policing is baring its teeth and lashing out at the people. And the president is goading them on and reviling those under attack. We in the UK can't sit back either, all pleased with ourselves about racial harmony and decent policing. Sure, we don't have the American problem set. We have our own. And it's not acceptable to say we are not aware of the experience of people in our own society. Of course we're not. Not if we're the privileged standard. Nor is it just about race and policing. We exhibit the same blindness to all non-standardness. Just look at our newspapers. Listen to the jokes in the office, the stories down the pub, the taunts in the school playground. And our current government is particularly privileged, packed to the gunwales with Etonians and Harrovians and other Ians and Ists you've never heard of. But they always are, and they always have been. But as recently demonstrated by their most senior advisor, first they don't think about the people, and then when they have to, they don't actually care about the people. Their agenda is just more important than yours. And you elected them to do what they want, so they're jolly well going to do it. So we're going to have to make the change ourselves. So for me, my manifesto, every time I interact with someone who doesn't have my privileges, I will try to be aware of the different places we're both coming from. Look, I will probably mess it up in 100 embarrassing ways every day, but I have to try. And that doesn't mean that I suddenly put on a different accent and try to become more like them, because that would be dishonest and defeat the point. I've got to stay being what I am, and they should stay being what they are too. But I must try and be aware of both these sets of experiences better, theirs and mine. Standard people are complaining a lot that it's difficult or it's hard. And that's true. It's uncomfortable to try and recognise yourself as well as recognise someone else. But it's probably easier than being non-standard, being the other. So let's not focus on ourselves right now. Let's focus on understanding what our privilege, our standardness is, and try and understand and listen to the perspective of the people who are different from us. When your colour is irrelevant, even to you, it's easy to say you're colourblind and colour doesn't matter. When your life isn't put at risk by the colour of your skin, it's easy to say all lives matter, because the colour bit doesn't occur to you. But as of now, it is not good enough to be proudly ignorant of our own inexperience and the experiences of others. We must humbly try to see our own experience for what it is, privileged, and go out of our way to share the protection, the safety, and the economic benefits that we have done nothing to earn, that are given to us just for being standard. Thank you.